What's good, Council of Comics? Be back in 30 seconds. What's good, Council of Comics? It's the Council of Comics Live Podcast, episode 6. Let's go.
Yeah. Shout out to Madness. Yeah. Rogue Nation 845. Bro.
Yo, does it seem like that thing moves fast for you, or does it move fast for me? Anyway.
It's a perception thing, my friend.
Yeah. Anyway, what's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to another Sunday night live podcast where we talk about things like film and TV. We also do a Monday night podcast where we talk about new key books of the week. I have
And to the 12 of you that watched them in the 50 plus crowd, thank you so much, and we appreciate it.
Well, we're moving up with views on all our videos. Like we used to
Nice.
only get like 4 or 5. Now we're getting like 20, 25.
Yes,
steady
and
on
12
the
of them are
videos,
the
so-
all
50
about
plus, and I love you.
consistency. They gotta know
all
when
about
they can find 'em.
consistency. We gotta keep pushing through. Keep pushing through. So we got Cliff here. We got Green Shirt Guy here. You know, I send out the invite to the people. You know, we might get some other cast members that pop in or not. Who knows? But if it's just us three, we got it covered. You don't worry about it.
Does the link change week to week, or if you give it to me, can I blast?
Yeah,
it
it's
to
a
you?
different link every week.
Okay, yeah. If you send it to me ahead of time, I'll put it on my page too.
Yeah. It's just I usually set up everything like 15, 20 minutes beforehand.
Right.
That's why I don't send out the link.
Gotcha.
Because me and Cliff went to the Newburgh Toy Show today. Shout out to the Newburgh Toy Show.
Yeah.
Same
So-
location.
No, it was now in the Hudson Valley Hotel,
Oh wow.
Which-
Yeah.
which the last time I was there was 2007 when my father passed away. That's where all the Canadians stayed, right? And the place is a shell of its former self. But hey, if you are traveling to our area and you want a place to bring your pets, still take pets, even though this is like
Hey,
the 16th owner.
that's big.
That is big.
That is big.
But the pool is closed, the restaurant is closed. It's like half the Munsters home and then like half hotel. And I'm not being too harsh.
Nobody goes in the
No.
pool anyway.
No, right? I
I mean-
was being like,
It's those
Like,
poor
I-
old ladies in there, and
Yeah.
their neck to ankles suits, and then they actually just sit on the chaise lounges anyway.
I really don't like, first of all, I'm so happy that they were able to host our event and it was our event.
Well,
I'm so happy they're able to host this event, that the space was very much adequate, right? But the other
Well,
things are true.
while you're talking, I did put up a little TikTok of a speed through video.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. So it was pretty cool.
I had a game.
I
I was
showed
gonna
up
go,
right
and
in
then I
time.
figured by the time I got out of it, I wouldn't make it down there.
You were roughing today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. It was thrown by Angelo and Tony and Hatcher and everybody, and they usually do a good thing. It was a bigger space than it was last time.
Yep.
So it was pretty good. They had a good show out. You know, Council Comics was there. HG Pokey Twins was there. We were selling books. We made some
Nice.
good money. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
know why I'm so amused that they're twins that sell Pokemon.
Yeah. The HV Pokey Twins.
Yes, that are also both introverts, so that is hilarious.
So, like, they kind of like the way they got started was I was doing this stuff, the vending and all that, and then I cut their hair because I also barber, and I knew they were like into Pokemon and stuff. I was like, would you guys be interested in like trying to sell your Poke cards? And they're like, huh? And they decided to get into it. And they didn't pay. I think they paid for like half a table or something like that first time, or something. And they just had their little section. It was just like 1/3 of a table, blah blah blah. And I'm so proud of them because after like 3 or 4 shows together, they're now 2-table monster.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool.
And they have like they are very well organized. Like I watched them, you know, as people approach, and like they have, you know, those flip cases to hold cards.
Yeah.
Like they have them organized. So as soon as somebody mentions what they want, they know which one to go for. Flip it open. It's like, oh, you're talking about this. Maybe you want one of these. I was like, oh,
yeah,
they got it down.
Yeah. So we always have an alliance with the Pokey Twins, the Council of Comics, and everybody. So it's pretty cool.
They're nice
So yeah, that was a good show out. Me and Clifford were pretty exhausted.
Oh, listen, I felt so bad because I'm talking to Kamaria. He's wrapping up, and like I told her around 2:25, I was like, I gotta get out of here because I could start to feel it in my show. I keep saying deteriorating. I'm not literally deteriorating, but I couldn't think of a better word for when. And also, like I'm diabetic, right? So like the energy drops like hard, and then the physical drop follows it, right? So like 2:25, I'm like, I really gotta get out of here, blah blah blah. Then it's like 2:42, and I'm like, dude, just give me a hug. I'm leaving right now. I have to. My whole body, I can't. Like my legs were on fire. My legs were on fire on the way to the car, and then like I got in the car, blasted the air conditioning because that's how like fired up my body was, and like and then I didn't move for 15 minutes, right? And then I got out of there. Like I was like, my body is so busted. And then I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to do New York Comic Con? Like I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I mean, it's a gruel. I mean, doing vendor stuff, like when you have books or just being around, period, like it takes a toll on you physically, man. That's why when they ask me like, can you do this show? Can you do that show? I tell them no, because it's like I can't put my body through that stuff. We're going to Comic-Con 2 weeks, so not this week, next week. So it's like I'm not gonna go to do a vendor show this weekend, next weekend, jack my whole shit up again. That's just not happening.
Like it's a lot. You know, and we're not as young as we used to be. I don't like to bring that up, but it's true.
It's true. It's true. But that's what we did today. I want to get into the first piece of news. You guys, before we get into our weekly MCU, we're doing phase 3 part 2. There's some little news running around with DC that I want to share.
Speculation.
Cliff hates the speculation, but we will do it anyway. Oh, wait. So, Grace Randolph did a live recently where she said that her sources are telling her that The Rock is proposing a Justice League versus Suicide Squad in a battle for Black Adam somehow. And
no interest.
Good, we got some different views here because I would be really interested in seeing that, honestly. Because I feel at this point,
why not just do the
DC has to go mega,
comics?
Huh?
Why not just do the one that was in the comics and take Black Adam out of it,
or leave Black Adam in it, but geez, just not make him the main event?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and make him the free agent that kind of does his own thing through the whole movie.
I told Sam I have my particularly favorite theory of what to do with him is Amanda Waller's got him on the Suicide Squad versus the Justice League. The real threat is Eclipso, and then when everything comes to a head, Eclipso manages to eclipse Black Adam. And then Superman's got to have that all-out brawl with him to get him into the sunlight to strip him out of it.
Yeah.
And to make it really massive, you get Shazam to show up, and the two of them have to do the whole tag team to get him into the sunlight and depossess him.
Yeah.
You know, because Superman will be weaker if Eclipso is successful and starts eclipsing.
You just want to get Zachary Levi in another movie.
Okay, how dare you? First of all, Zachary Levi, I think he's a great Shazam. I am having.
I don't think he's bad.
Why you say that? I want like why would you not want to see that?
I don't think he's a bad actor. For me, it's just a personal thing, and I think he does fine in those movies. I still see him as Chuck. As much as I want to not see him as Chuck and stuff, I still see him as Chuck.
You got
I know that's stupid. It just looks like Chuck put on weight.
You are terrible.
I don't know. I like
and he's a good actor. I'm not saying
Shazam.
he's doing a bad job. I just have a hard time separating him from that other role. That's me.
The only problem I had with Shazam, was the outfit,
which they already fixed.
Yeah, they fixed it. I saw the new ones. It looks a little better, but that first outfit was like him in a muscle suit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was just a little too much because like the comic, it's not a guy in a muscle suit. He actually becomes like a Superman type figure. You know what I mean? And that was just a little jarring. But besides that, I thought Shazam was one of the better. It's one of the better DCEU movies.
Definitely.
And another piece to add on to this is that there are rumors that Zaslav, who now owns DC and Warner Brothers, the reason why he's canceling all these projects and he's only doing little things like Black Adam with maybe a Henry Cavill cameo, Aquaman that's having a Ben Affleck cameo, and Shazam 2, which is having a Wonder Woman cameo, is that he's canceling everything else. He's doing this to build it up to that this is something that he's going to sell it off to Comcast Universal.
And unfortunately, I feel like you might be right because all signs point to that looks right.
Yeah. They just canceled the Green Lantern one too, the series.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
So you don't spend any money on anything new. You put minor investments on stuff that you've got previously going, right? You've got them scheduled for the whole 2 years that you need to sell to Comcast. If all those things make a profit, it's looking good as you're handing it off to Comcast.
Yeah, your stock price goes through the roof, and then you're like, here you go.
So, do you give Dwayne Johnson the reins?
No.
Before you do that deal?
No.
And
do you greenlight his idea for Justice League Suicide Squad?
I wouldn't until after I see how Black Adam performs.
Here's the thing: you can greenlight it even if Black Adam performs well, because by the time that goes into pre-production, you would have sold the company anyway. So you can greenlight all you want, right?
Cliff said a funny thing. He said, "Yo, if Henry Cavill is not in Black Adam, burn the theater down."
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Because what is it? Every day, every week. Oh, he's in there. He's filmed it. And how many times have we fell for the okie doke, man?
Yeah.
And then when they hit us with that one in the first Shazam movie, I was like, this is horrible, bro. Why even put this in here? Why even do that?
I mean,
if people don't know what I'm talking about, in Shazam, Superman shows up as an end credit scene, but it's from his neck down. You don't see that Henry Cavill and stuff. So
it could be anybody.
And then he shows up at the end of Peacemaker, but it's just a silhouette.
It's just a silhouette.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Cyborg's not there. They cut him out of that.
I would like to hope and believe that Ray Fisher.
Next thing it'll be just the back of a head.
That was another thing. They said if The Rock was given the reins, he would be the one to be able to bring Ray Fisher back. Because Hamada's contract ends after Black Adam.
Yeah.
I think Black Adam. So he would be able to bring back Cyborg.
I don't think that he should be the Kevin Feige of the DC universe, but I do think that he could be the Jon Favreau of the DC universe.
That could be.
In other words, he gets to have a lot of say, but he does not get to be the big showrunner.
Right, but it could be the same role, but to compare him and Favreau to me is
no. I meant role wise. I don't mean any other way. Because Jon Favreau still gets to have a very strong opinion,
correct,
in the MCU. So yes, allowing The Rock to have a strong opinion is cool because I do believe in him a little bit. He really is a fan. He really does love the comic books. He's never He's never been wrong about the stuff he said. He's like, Black Adam and Superman have gone out of the comics. Let's do that. Like, yeah, he's right, So, so he's never been wrong. But the thing is, he promotes the way he's always promoted, the way he's only known how to promote, like a WWE superstar, right?
Yeah.
And so,
but that's what this movie would be.
Right.
This movie would be a super spectacle.
Exactly, but also I think people find it grating because he is just so like raw, like, and he's been going on about Black Adam since 2009. So like, I think I think we need the movie to just come out.
I don't find it grating.
I agree.
I find it grating because he's to me, The Rock's oversaturated. You see him everywhere.
Maybe.
He needs to go away for a while so you can appreciate him when he comes back.
I mean, whatever. I mean, first of all, I never cared about him until I started watching Young Rock. Now I'm so invested. I'm like, oh my God, let's do Black Adam. But actually, it's funny, right? Because by me not caring, by me not having any connection to WW anything, like, so for me, this is my renaissance with The Rock. And for everybody else, it's like, what are you talking about?
Right, rocking around for a minute. But to put like a little final point on it, if Henry Cavill shows up in Black Adam, that's gonna be big.
If Henry Cavill shows up,
people will go just to see that.
Tickets.
Yeah, people are gonna go just to see that post-credit scene. Don't ask me why, but they're gonna go just to see that, and then that would give The Rock.
What do you mean? Don't ask you why? You know exactly why. You know exactly.
I mean, but I know, but who's paying like $20 a ticket to just go see Henry Cavill for 2 minutes?
Me.
Not even 2 minutes, like 30 seconds.
I want to go see Black Adam blow stuff up. I want to see Dr. Fate being Dr. Fate.
That's what I want to see too. I want to see Justice Society. That's big to have the Justice Society. Dr. Fate.
Great.
Dr. Fate is a huge character in the DC universe.
Do you know that? What's his name? Dr. Fate. Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan turned down the role of Batman for 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
And he said, I just can't believe that anyone will take this seriously. Then the movie was a mega success. So now, now when this whole Black Adam thing came around and they're like, there's this character. He's like, yes.
He's not missing the train. He's not missing the train.
Like, I don't think I heard that before.
No, he recently talked about it.
That would be what, the Michael Keaton Batman.
The Michael Keaton Batman.
Wow.
Like, could you imagine if Pierce Brosnan had taken it seriously and done the American accent and all that shit? That would have been a whole different Batman for us.
That would have been pre-Bond, right? He probably wouldn't even done Bond.
Yeah. So he could have bulked up beautifully. Like, first of all, Michael Keaton bulked up beautifully for that movie. When he's upside down swinging, I was like, oh my God, look at Michael Keaton being buff and stuff. I was like, I could not believe I was going to take that movie seriously. And I was young. And I was like, I don't know, Michael Keaton, like Batman. And I was like, wow, he blew.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Because we're getting too excited for DC movies. And we know how that works out. Can't get too excited for these.
He's excited for this speculation.
But Marvel movies actually come out. That's the difference.
He's excited for the speculation.
All right, let's slow down. Let's get into the real business of the matter. And we're going to be talking MCU Phase 3 Part 2, which includes Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and the epilogue Spider-Man Far From Home.
Avengers Infinity War is the shining star of the Marvel phases.
Why do you say that?
I like it a lot. I don't think for me it's not the top. Endgame is just a scotch higher, but there's arguments for this movie. I'm not going to.
Let me tell you all. This movie, we actually have to see everyone unite, everyone break into their little squads. Like Thanos is the real threat. The way they introduce the stuff, like Scarlet Witch and Vision are getting their asses handed to them, and then Proxima Midnight is like, "What's that back there?" And Scarlet Witch is like, "What's that?" And it's just Cap's silhouette and dun
crowd went crazy.
The crowd goes crazy. That, The spear goes. Cap catches the spear. Crosses into Black Widow. Black Widow gets in there. And you're like, oh shit! And it is so like the excitement, And then they get out of there. And they're like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go home. Who's waiting for them? Rhodey, who's talking to Thunderbolt Ross, who I think he's head of Secretary of State, right?
Yes.
He's like, arrest them. He's like, well, I guess I'm gonna be arrested too. So like, they start talking. Hulk is there, sees Natasha. Natasha sees him. Everyone's like, oh, this is awkward. Like, it just.
Well, let's talk about the beginning of the movie first.
Who cares about the beginning? Oh yeah, that's
No, the beginning of the movie was phenomenal. You can't say that.
Oh my god,
That was phenomenal.
The Asgardians are under assault by
So
Thanos.
wait, bring them back. Because remember that Ragnarok. Check out the last video, our part 1.
That's right.
Thanos' ship at the end of Ragnarok comes up, and it's showing that it's about to attack the Asgardians.
Yeah,
this picks up. We don't
Right
see
now.
the destruction of everything.
You just
but it
hear the
picks
radio
up.
signal.
Yeah, you just hear the radio signal.
Yep.
So, what's happening? I'm just trying to find videos to play in the background. Oh,
We don't need
Hold on.
videos to play in the background.
I know.
We got a
I'm
little
realizing-
fire right here.
I'm realizing my mistakes. So, so Thanos has destroyed the ship, killed mad people,
Kills
he's
Heimdall.
kills Heimdall.
In front
He's
of
got-
him. Yeah. You
Yep.
die for that.
He's got Thor all beat up, and Loki comes in trying to save him, and Thanos is just sick and tired of Loki already. Basically, grabs his neck, crushes his neck, kills him in front of Thor. But
Well,
before
even before that, Loki says something about loyalty, and he goes, "Oh, does loyalty look like failure?"
Yeah.
the Thanos lines are incredible in this movie, like one-liners. But Heimdall isn't dead. He manages to whip up enough power to send the Hulk, who got his ass handed to him by Thanos. Because that was a pretty cool moment. Loki repeats the sentence from Iron Man in the Avengers movies. He's like, "We have a Hulk."
Yep.
That's right.
And then the Hulk comes in. You think he's taking down Thanos, but
Well-
Thanos puts the whooping on him.
Well,
But
not right
it could
away.
be because he has the
Not
power
right away.
stone now.
Hulk beats him up initially, and then
Oh,
you see what's his name go
barely.
to stop him. He goes, "No, let him have his fun."
Yep.
But he had the Power
just
Stone,
seems to go,
though.
"Yeah, that's fine." And then he whoops on him.
Did he take off? He didn't take off the power
No,
stone.
he didn't.
No,
he
not
didn't
until after he
do
beats
that.
him.
Yeah. So Hulk is shot down to the earth, which is a little
By
homage to
Heimdall.
the original story from Infinity Gauntlet, where it's Silver Surfer who's shot down. What's that?
No, my fault. Something went off on my phone. Sorry.
Silver Surfer in the original comics was shot just like Bruce Banner was shot down to the earth, and he says, "Thanos is coming. Thanos is coming." And then the credits come in, where now the Avengers theme is known worldwide as the legit, dun, 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 dun. And everybody's going wild because we know what's about to happen. And then they go to Tony and Pepper
Yep. Who's approached
running
by
in the
Doctor-
park.
Doctor Strange immediately.
Yeah. Doctor Strange
Right.
says, "I need you guys." They go with him. They meet up with the Hulk. He explains the situation to him. That Thanos has this, and that. Iron Man and Doctor Strange are throwing their little quips at each other because it's like the first time they're actually meeting each other.
And they're basically the same person.
they're basically the
Yes.
same person. And then right when that happens, well, the Hulk asks Tony to call Cap and the
He's
Avengers.
like, we're not on speaking terms. He's like,
Yeah,
Tony.
Tony's like,
this is
"There's no
not
more
the time."
Avengers." Yeah, he's like, "There's no more Avengers." And at this point, Tony's about to call Steve Rogers, but some wind is blowing and an alien ship lands, and Thanos' squad has shown up, and they're trying to get the time stone that Doctor Strange has. And they have a big brawl, which leads to Spider-Man swinging in the scene as well.
Straight from the school bus.
Right. So they end up capturing Doctor Strange, putting him on the ship. Tony tells Spider-Man to leave it alone or something, but Spider-Man.
Yep. And then Spider-Man has the new Stark suit on.
Yeah.
And then he clings to the ship, so they end up in deep space.
So they're in deep space, and then there's just so many things. I don't want to go over each and everything because
No, we
there's
can't.
so
It's too
many
much.
things.
But it is a great movie. It was the first of my rewatch last week, and I was like, wow, this is so good. You know, like
Yeah.
this truly is an epic film. There is stuff happening everywhere. It is the right amount of funny and the terrifying
Hold on,
amount
now.
of
Go back
serious.
to that last photo. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Clip. The
Was
Cap one.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Are we to believe
one more.
that he's had this same suit the whole time? He just ripped off the star?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because in that,
That's
so
the
it's
suit
just
from
supposed to be
Civil War.
dirty and gross because he's been wearing the same suit. Okay.
Yeah. That's from Civil War.
yeah. I
For
love
me,
that
this is the
scene.
best suit in the entire run.
Yeah.
I just love how they're like, get that man a shield. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
So many great. You could talk forever about this movie. So many great moments, like when Thor meets the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Just
And Quill gets
classic
jealous.
stuff. And
Yep.
Star-Lord is kind of like jealous because he thinks he's gonna lose Gamora to Thor, which is hilarious.
he starts doing the deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you changed your voice. I did not. Yes, you did. You did it again.
And Drax is like, you're not, you're a dude. This is a man.
Yeah.
And Angel.
Bruce Banner goes through some problems. He can't seem to turn into the Hulk because the Hulk is tired of being used.
Yeah,
That we find out later, and he just doesn't want to come out. So he ends up donning a iron Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster.
Yeah. Thanos. What can we say about Thanos? Like,
that this is his story.
this is his story. He's one of the greatest villains.
This is hold on. Like
Huh?
I've said before, you're always the hero in your own story. So if you look at it from Thanos' perspective, he's the hero in the story.
Yeah, he did it.
No,
He
And
won.
he does exactly what he set
Right.
out
No,
to.
it's brilliant because they did the hero's journey, but through Thanos
Right.
in this movie. But he's clearly the villain because
Yeah.
anybody who's really a hero, hero would be like, oh, double the resources in the universe, and there we go.
Yeah. I mean, even right down to the end scene where he sits down and he smiles, he's looking into the sun. I'm like, yo. I'm like, he was the hero of this movie. He's the one. When Thor showed up at the end,
Yeah.
and I mean, how powerful a Stormbreaker that it could, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, and it had what do you call it built into it? The what's Asgard's bridge called?
the Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge.
Right, but whatever. But the point is, it has it built in, so like that was amazing, you know. And of course, it's a sentient weapon, and like you know, and of course, Thor had his Ragnarok journey to truly embrace his own power. So he just came with everything, and it looked just amazing. He shows up with Rocket and Groot, and it's just like amazing. You know, and Cap sees him and is like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
bring me Thanos!"
But
The
how
crowd
about
went
even before that,
bananas.
where he's making the weapon by
Yeah.
by holding it open and getting hit by a star.
Right, you're right.
That's
By using the power of a star's corona to forge the weapon. Like that was one of the finest, most badass Thor moments ever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
And
this is
Dinklage gets like almost no service in this movie. People forget he's in it.
no.
And
I mean I did it, but
and the Rocket Raccoon Thor scene where they talk
Okay.
when, oh my god, like you get the feels and all that.
Mm-hmm.
this movie is full of the feels.
full of the feels. So
and Wanda gets to basically watch Vision die almost twice
that was crazy.
before he really does die.
She
Think about
kills
it.
him.
He almost dies fighting him initially, and then kind of we don't
Yeah.
really see him die, and then he dies. Brink gets brought back and dies again.
Yeah, and through that whole time, you're like, somebody's got to stop Thanos. Remember, like somebody's got to stop him. Like, who's gonna stop him? Not realizing nobody's gonna stop him.
Right. We got
And
another movie to go still.
yeah, so Thor hits him with Stormbreaker. Hits him in the chest. You know, Thor's all gassed up about himself that he got him. And they bring out the moment from the comics, the classic moment. For all comic readers, we were all waiting for
The snap.
the snap. And when he was like, you should have gone for the head, I was like this in my chair, raising up. I was like, he's gonna do it. Boom. And I was like, yes. Yes.
Isn't
And
it his right hand in the comics though? I can't remember. Is it his
I'm
left
not
hand?
sure. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to remember the panel. I'm probably wrong, but I always feel like it was with his right hand, and it makes more sense in the movie to be his left hand. But
and Thor's last reaction when he's seeing him do it, and he's like, "No!"
Right.
I'm like, wow. So the movie ends with Thanos ends up on the planet, like he says, his garden planet.
Mm-hmm.
He sits down, like he says, and to watch. Well, I forget what his phrase was. To watch upon something, stare at the sun, and rest, knowing that his work is done. Blah blah blah, and it ends.
By the way, it's Thanos.
Well, no, but doesn't he
hand.
see?
Huh?
Doesn't he have a vision of Gamora before that? Or is
When
that
he snaps.
And I'm
No, when he snaps, he goes to that.
That's
that
right.
place.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and
What were
I
you
mean
gonna say,
that's a hit you in the feels moment too. Did you succeed? Yes. What did it cost you? Everything.
That Thanos was wearing the gauntlet on his left hand in both the comic book and the movie.
No, okay.
Okay. So the movie ends with Thanos winning,
Which brings us great, and also made everyone in theaters across the world go, "What?"
bananas. And so the next movie that comes in the line is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie, I liked it.
I did.
I
too.
liked it. I think I liked it just as much as the first one. I didn't like it more. I didn't like it less. I liked it just as much. But they introduced in this movie a very important thing, which is the quantum realm.
Yes.
The quantum realm is, well, I think they introduced it in the first Ant-Man, but they didn't really get.
I think they
Right.
mention it, but they don't go into
No,
depth.
because remember, he's trapped there in the first one, and he will be lost there forever. But that little disc that helps you grow, it came out of his buckle. He snatched it, grew, and came back, and then it left Hank Pym with hope that he could find his wife one day.
Right.
Yeah. So this one,
My only issue with this movie is, and they kind of never really touch on it, even in Endgame. So she's been there all this time, right?
Yes.
And Quantum Realm, we've already established in Endgame that time runs differently, right?
And
why is she still
non-logically?
Okay, but why is she old and she's been gone for umpteenth years? I can buy that she gets a little bit older,
right?
But she's the same age as Pym, and
that's a good point.
And Scott's gone for 5 years and it looks exactly the same.
Because she spent years of our time in the quantum realm,
right? But he spent 5 years and it's like 2 seconds.
But he didn't move around. She traversed the quantum realm in her time.
Right. So it was like, it could have been like millions of years or something.
Right.
Like that.
So it could have been millions of years for her and different effects of time on her, all of that. And we'll probably learn more about that from her in this movie that's coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
here's
we'll
the
learn
thing.
about it.
I think from an optics standpoint, it looked really creepy for Michael Douglas to be with a really young chick at the end of it. I get that.
Of course.
And so I'm okay with it, but logically to me, it was like, it made no sense.
No,
I could see her aging like 10, 15 years, but for them to be the same age made no sense.
They could coincidentally be the same age because of how she traveled that realm. Right?
That's fair. I get it.
She modified her own equipment to communicate with the creatures there. I'm just saying, you're absolutely right. They did it for optics, right? But I am saying, if I were in the writing room, I would definitely be like, hey, she moved around the quantum realm enough times that she ended up about the same age anyway.
Okay, that's fair. I can buy that. It just, okay.
Plus, I just love her. And I love this girl too, who plays Ghost. I love her.
Yeah. So this is the first appearance of Ghost. She plays a villain in this movie, but she's going to be in the Thunderbolts movie that's coming out as part of that team. But this is her first appearance.
I like Scott's
one of the only group
more
people
in this
doesn't.
movie.
What happened?
I like Scott's group, his little gang more in this movie than in the first one.
Yeah.
Especially the Russian guy. The Russian guy kills it for me.
Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie, we forget.
Yep. As Black Goliath.
As Black Goliath.
Technically.
Yeah. But he doesn't get big, right? Doesn't do anything.
But he did.
He mentions
how he had.
Yeah, he mentioned it. Could we see him probably come in part 3?
I think so, because he did live.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a true villain.
I see him as more of a a flashback more than him doing it now.
I could see him doing it now and getting killed.
Maybe.
No, I
To
can
mirror the whole Civil War
Elementary.
thing. Remember he died during it was Civil War.
Right, but that was
when Tony got the clone Thor to blast him through the chest. I mean, it wouldn't be the same story, but
I don't
could see
think. Wait a
them do
second. When the clone Thor showed up, was that Tony's actual plan?
that. To not, he didn't want him to kill.
Right, because I was going to say one of the big problems of Clore showing up was like, whoa, he's a murderer.
Yeah, that backfired big time.
Yeah.
Tony made something that screwed up. Come on,
get out of here.
The best laid intentions.
This movie ends with they rescue
That's
Janet.
right. I forgot to
Janet.
this.
Yeah, they rescue Janet. She kind of like cures ghosts.
Yes.
She cures ghosts because now she has some powers from the quantum realm.
Yep.
Which is probably hinting at some kind of mutant thing that I'll have a link, possibly, maybe. And I believe it's the end credit scene, right?
The end credit scene is where everyone is blipped from the quantum realm.
He's going in the quantum realm to get like quantum energy and stuff. And little, the blip happens because you see the little colors go. And then you come to find out that Hank and Janet and his girlfriend, what's the daughter's name?
Oh, daughter lived.
No,
she blipped too.
No, she didn't.
No, she does not blip because when he finds her, she's a teenager. When he
the daughter. I'm not talking about his daughter.
Oh no, Hope Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne.
Hope Van Dyne. Yeah, she gets blipped out of it. And that's the end of the movie. He's like, hello, hello, hello. And that's that, which I thought was pretty cool. Now it moves us into
the deep past.
We're
going to go back.
And I enjoyed this movie, but this is the movie where I think the general fan base, started to go, well, I think Marvel might have had a not a dud, but it wasn't what they were expecting. I thought this movie was okay, but I know a lot of people hated it.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good, but it is like not one of my favorite rewatches, and I'm upset about first of all, today is a big lesson day for me about remembering expectations will fuck you.
Yes, there are high expectations in this movie.
I was so excited that Ronan the Accuser was going to be in it. I thought she was going to have this like powerful battle with Ronan, and no, he's just there. He's just there. So they put this man, this gorgeous man, they put him through hours of makeup to be on screen for 4 minutes, and that's it.
And why is he blue?
Yeah.
He was blue.
He was
purple in Guardians.
No, he gets.
He was. He was purple.
No, he only looks that way because of the power
stone.
Go
look it up right now. He's purple.
Or not, whatever the stone is.
He's not purple. He's blue.
All right, I'm gonna find a picture while you guys
find a picture. So this movie is a prequel. It jumps back to the 90s where we learn about the origin of Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Come to find out that she was caught up in some kind of explosion and that the Kree took her and basically made her believe that she was part of the Kree and all that other stuff. And then she comes to find out, how does she end up on Earth?
Well, because they're chasing Skrulls.
They're chasing Skrulls and she crashes on Earth? What is it?
I just finished watching it. She gets captured by the Skrulls and they're on their way to Earth to find Mar-Vell. And then she escapes being imprisoned and then goes flying off and lands on Earth.
Gotcha. So as she's on Earth, she meets up with Samuel Jackson.
Nick Fury.
Young Nick Fury. He's got a little de-aging in there. He's looking a little bit younger.
No eye patch.
We got Coulson as part of it, which is pretty cool. And so Captain Marvel is beginning to start getting some flashbacks. She's trying to remember who she was. She meets up with Was it Marvel?
No,
Who
not
they-
Marvel.
No, not right away.
I mean, in the past she does, but like in the present, she meets. When does she find Monica?
Monica.
After she goes to the bar.
Right after she goes to the bar, and
Yeah.
starts having those flashbacks.
Right.
Right, but it's not Monica.
No, her friend
her
is
mo-
Monica. Her friend
Huh?
is Monica.
Her mom.
Oh wait, her mom, right? Is
Her
because
mom is who she's trying to find. Because Monica Rambeau, we don't see older Monica Rambeau until
later.
Right.
until WandaVision. So
Maria
This
is the mother.
Maria Rambeau, and she has Photon as an Easter egg on her airplane, which
Yep.
is an Easter egg for the Marvel Comics. And a young Monica, as you see in this picture right there. So we basically find out that Captain Marvel, who they gender switched, is now female. In the comics, it was male. She was working on Tesseract, and the ship blew up, and Captain Marvel got caught in the blow up, and the Tesseract basically gave her these super duper powers, but she
And the
lost.
Tesseract is the same thing that unlocked the powers of Scarlet Witch.
Right. So she
And
could
great.
have she could have already had something inside of her that the Tesseract brung out of her.
Well, I figure that it is very slim for anybody to get some power out of the Tesseract. So the fact that it affected 3 people specifically, I can buy that. Because also, we do not understand why it gave Quicksilver super speed. Right? It unlocked the Scarlet Witch in Wanda. But
Yeah.
did it give Quicksilver super speed because she was so afraid for her brother that her chaos magic?
Oh, you think she gave him the super speed?
Right, like unintentionally, right? Because
Right.
now she's so connected to the stone from her experience that, like, when he went to it, she's like, "My brother can't die!" And then
Maybe, yeah. There's a big thing about these MacGuffins because in Miss Marvel, it was the bands that brought out her mutation. And if you notice in these MacGuffins, they're bringing out the mutation in people. So if they do it with the Tesseract with her, they could have a line of these things happening, like these artifacts.
right, because for Photon, it would be when she crossed Wanda's barrier that
Right.
created
Right.
her mutation.
Right. She already
I
had a
mean, if you
mutation
think about
inside
it,
her.
it's kind of like what do you call it? That the Terrigen mist. Everybody's got something. It's just a matter of what it brings out.
Right.
But it's same idea, but obviously not the same thing.
Right. And this movie ends with, I want to say pretty much there's good scrolls and bad scrolls.
Well, we
Right.
only know that
No.
the scrolls are basically good.
That's what
At the
they
end.
basically want you to believe in this one.
This one, they're good. Right.
Yes.
And
Right.
they eventually Nick Fury teams up with them. They're working together. We find out why he got the 3 scratches on his face. I don't like that part of it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that this special alien cat scratched him, and now he got that
For
I
no
thought that was-
reason. Because
Yeah, I
it
thought that
fine
was
with
pretty
it before
lame.
that.
I would have loved something later down the line, like I got into a fight with Wolverine, and
I like
It's
the
nice,
idea.
you
No,
know what I
I
mean?
like the idea that it happened to him in Nicaragua. I was okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
and because I thought that was great. So, but yeah, a minor disappointment, but whatever.
Yeah.
The one that got me is the one at the end where he's sitting in front of the computer, doing his whatever his writing
research.
up the report, and then he happens to see that picture of Carol Danvers, and it says Carol Avenger Danvers, and he changes to Avenger Initiative. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you never heard that word ever before, but she happens to have that as a nickname. Bullshit.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't like that.
This movie did manage to make $1 billion,
Well, they all do. They're Marvel movies.
so that
I
was a
know, but
plus.
that's not like. Look,
Yeah.
the thing is, the movie's pretty good. It is beloved by a lot of people, even
It's got
if
a great
like,
soundtrack.
it's got a
I'll
great
say that.
soundtrack.
It's all if you look, was thinking about it today. If you look at it, it was almost predominantly, I have to look at it completely, but like 75% of it is all rock bands with women as frontmen. or well, not frontman, but you know what I mean, the lead singer.
As lead singer.
Mm-hmm. So this movie, what else was the post-credit scene for this movie?
That she arrives from outer space to the Avengers because they use that special pager that
Right.
she left Nick Fury.
And
Yeah.
then the cat burps up the Tesseract.
Yeah, and she says, "Where's Nick Fury?" And then we've got, come on, man,
This right here
come
is
on.
so imminently watchable.
Oh my god,
I can watch
Endgame
parts
is
of this and be happy most of the time. It
this
is long
movie is-
though.
It's long, but it's glorious.
Mm-hmm. And it's
very glorious.
total fan service, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So, I want them to play the trailer.
I'd be curious to know how far back they started writing the script for this, where they went, if they knew all the, as they're making movies right along, oh, we're going to steal this later, we're going to steal this later, we'll steal this later, or it was like somebody was such a great writer, they went, okay, let me look back at these last 15 movies and kind of piece it all together and,
Well,
do stuff like that.
Listen, Kevin Feige's the glue.
Right,
all
but
this.
I mean, when did they start writing the script? Like, obviously, they knew they were going to get here eventually, but
I mean,
things like-
I think the Russo brothers and whoever else they included basically made a big fucking map, right?
Okay.
Like a big chart of like, where are these movies? Where are these stones? Blah blah blah. So that moment where they're in the Avengers, whatever it is at that point, compound or whatever they're at, and Black Widow, it dawns on her like, wait, some of these stones are in the same place at the same
Right,
time.
yeah.
If we think about it,
Yeah. So the Avengers have to time travel because basically Ant-Man, a rat walks on the van that Ant-Man's stuck in, reactivates the van. Ant-Man comes back out of the quantum realm. It's 5 years later.
It's the butterfly flapping its wings in Africa.
Yeah. And he goes to find his daughter. She's 5 years older. But then his next stop is Avengers headquarters because he has this idea. But meanwhile, it's been 5 years later. Black Widow's kind of running the Avengers basically, and they're taking care of little things here and there. But half the population is gone. Governments have fallen.
The what do you call it? All the monuments. Remember how he runs through the
Yeah.
monuments? Do you think he's looking for his daughter, not for the whole time?
No, yeah, he was looking for his daughter.
Okay. Because I think I probably thought that, but it really just kind of clued in the last time I saw
Yeah,
it.
he was looking for his daughter, but then he ends up finding his name, which is like, whoa. So basically, Ant-Man is like, I survived. We need to find somebody really smart. Blah, blah, blah. So they go to Tony, and he pitches it to Tony, and Tony's like, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Right.
Tony has a daughter now.
Yep.
He's like, I don't want to lose what I got. You know what I mean? I'm good, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, shit, Tony doesn't want to help us. What are we going to do? So they go to Bruce Banner. And Bruce Banner has figured out how to become the Hulk permanently and Bruce Banner permanently. And he's a little iffy on it. He's like, it's not really my field. But he's the only guy they got. So
Right.
they're practicing with it.
He's
and
too nice to say no.
Yeah, so he tried. He accomplishes somewhat, but it's just not where it's at. And meanwhile, at home, Tony thinks about the theory that Ant-Man told him, and he runs it through the module. And the module's like, "This is a success," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!"
I just love how he's like, I'll do this in my spare time, and
Yeah.
I did it because I'm that smart.
Yeah, so he goes to Pepper, and he's like, I figured out how to do it, but should I do it? And she's basically like, if you don't do it, you'll be up every night wondering that if you should.
And I've learned in all my time that I can't stop you.
Yeah. So Tony goes to the Avengers headquarters. Cap's outside. He talks to him. They kind of like dead the beef that they have. He gives him the shield. He tells him, I figured out a way to do it. And he's like, all right. And it's funny because he turned the Hulk turned Ant-Man into a baby.
Yeah, you turned him into
And
a
Tony's
baby.
like, you turned him into a baby, didn't you? As if Tony's tried this already.
Well, I think
You see what I mean? Like,
one is like he's like, if they screw it up, this is how they
Yeah.
would have done it.
yeah. So they build this big old thing. Rocket's there helping them, and Rocket's funny like, "You're only a genius on Earth, smart guy." like Rocket is pretty intelligent. Like really intelligent if you think about it. And they create the machine, and the plan is to go back in time to steal the stones so they can bring the stones back to the present day, bring everybody back, and then go put back the stones. But it screws up while they're going all the way because Nebula gets captured, and the past Thanos, because Thanos is killed in the beginning of this movie,
Right.
they seek him out. They chop off his head because he says, "I destroyed the stones with the stones." Thor saw no hope, chopped his head off, then led the 5 years. So now, while they're going to retrieve the stones in the past Thanos captures Nebula, future Nebula, and learns of the plan that the Avengers have to go. And he's like, they're doing this because I won, not because I lost. You know what I mean? So they actually achieve it after super scenes of going back to old movies and all that. They achieve it. They get all the stones back. And at the point they do a snap, nothing seems like anything happened. But at that point,
Hawkeye's phone rings.
Hawkeye's phone rings.
Well, you skipped the scene with Tony talking to his dad in the past.
I'm gonna be skipping a lot of scenes.
I
I
know.
can't
I'm
remember
sorry, that
sometimes.
scene for me was
Yeah,
good.
like that's why I put that in. They figure out, they get all the stones back. Go watch the movie.
Go ahead.
They get all the stones back. They snap. Ant-Man's like, he sees like butterflies and birds, and he's like, "Hey guys,
I think it worked.
He's like, "I think it worked." And at that moment,
Right.
past Thanos shows up because, okay, it gets complicated. Past Nebula has snuck into the future with making it possible. Thanos has the Pym particles that he stole from Nebula. They're able to get the ship from the past into the future. They blow up that whole headquarters, and he basically tells his minions, "Go find me the stones." But they obliterated the headquarters.
Right.
So they go search for the stones and all that. Hawkeye eventually finds the glove. He's running through things.
He runs into old Nebula, thinking it's new Nebula.
He runs into old Nebula, thinking it's new Nebula. Thanos decides he's just gonna sit and wait because he knows they're coming. They're gonna come for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so Iron Man wakes up Cap. He goes to where Thor is, and they're like, "What's he doing?" He's just sitting there. And he's like, "Well, he doesn't have the stones, so this is probably our best moment to get him."
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the great action scenes commences where Thor, Iron Man, and Cap go against Thanos. And Captain America, right before Thor is about to get his shit handed to him, the hammer comes to Captain America, and the theater goes banana.
I knew it.
Because
I love how they sold it with Thor screaming, "I knew it!" Like that was so great.
And he beats the mess out of Thanos. Beats the mess out of him. Like, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is it. He's won." But no, Thanos comes back. He
Breaks
makes him
the
lose.
shield.
He makes him lose the hammer, and he just machetes the shield into.
Now, what's Thanos'
pieces.
weapon made out of?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Because he chops through it like, not like butter, but it doesn't take him much to take it down.
Yeah. So he beats Thor. He beats
Uru.
Uru. Okay. The same thing that
That the
Mjolnir.
hammer's made out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he beats Thor. He beats Iron Man. He beats Cap. Cap's still the last one standing. Oh, we got some comments here. Cap catching the hammer had me screaming from Kamara.
Mhm.
Yeah, had everybody screaming. We was loving it. But this is one of my favorite scenes. Top 3 scenes. Cap is by himself. Thanos' whole army is out in front of him, and he stands up by himself.
Cinches the broken shield.
Cinches the broken shield.
And if you notice, he's got that huge gash in his arm. It's like,
Yeah,
ah,
and I'm just like, yo, he's. I was like, Cap, you are the greatest. You are the greatest.
If I'm gonna lose, I'm going down fighting.
Kamara says Cap was so pure, was worthy the whole time, but didn't want to hurt fragile Thor's widow feelings.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. So as soon as Cap's like, all right, I'm last man, let's go. He hears a and he goes, I think he goes, Sam. He's like, Sam, right? And he's like, on your left. And the portals start opening up. And all the heroes start coming out from where they were, from Wakanda, from
I heard that one.
Out of space.
I was
Outer
like, start
space.
tingling, but then when Black Panther walks out, I'm telling you, right?
The fear exploded.
I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. I cried.
Yeah.
Tears were streaming.
He came out. He gave Cap the head nod, like, let's do this. And so all the Marvel characters, minus the Netflix characters, are there.
And minus the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Minus Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Are all there. And finally, after 2 Avengers movies and a Cap Civil War movie and all that, we finally get to hear Captain America say, Avengers! Assemble.
By the way, I loved it, but I also hate it. I gotta tell you.
I wanted him screaming Avengers.
I wanted him screaming Avengers.
Yes.
And I'm like, why didn't they give that to us?
Yeah.
Why did they misfire on
Yeah,
this?
I don't know why.
I don't know. I like it. There's a subtle power to him saying that. Like,
You know what? Like, yes, but also on like. The point is, when I rewatch it, it no longer has an effect on me. Same thing with the scene with the ladies.
guarantee you what they did with that is I bet you there's more than one take of that, and they screen tested it, and the one they went with is the one that people.
Yeah, I'm sure of that.
I almost guarantee that's what it is. Because
So-
I hear you. I would have been happy either way, but I liked what they did.
So they it's both sides versus both sides. Some amazing, spectacular scenes taken straight out of a comic book that we've never seen. Just such really, really great stuff. Can't really name all of them, be here all night. But eventually, if you remember, Doctor Strange tells Iron Man in Infinity War, there's one way to win this. And then Iron Man gives Doctor Strange a look. Doctor Strange puts up the one finger, telling him like, this is the one way. And Iron Man
weren't they trying to get to the van before that though?
Yeah, but I'm skipping right to like the main part at the end. Iron Man runs at Thanos. It looks like he's struggling with it. Thanos has all the gems. He kicks Iron Man away. He goes, I am something inevitable.
I'm inevitable.
And he snaps, but there's nothing there. He turns around. The stones are gone. Pans over to Iron Man, Tony Stark, and you see them going up his glove. And I was like, I got sad at that moment. I was like, he's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no way that he's gonna survive. Look what it did to the Hulk.
Right.
There's no way he's gonna survive this. But he closed it out official, like, I am Iron Man. Boom. And he wishes away Thanos' army, and Tony Stark dies. Very sad scene. He passes away. They won. They have a funeral for him.
And Black Widow.
And Black Widow, yeah.
And Black Widow perishes in this movie as well to get one of the stones.
When they do, they have the thing for Tony, but they mention like they're also mourning Natasha.
Yeah. And so Cap is charged with returning the stones to the timelines. They send them off. They send him off to do it. He comes back as old Cap. And he hands off the shield to Sam. And the movie ends with a scene of showing us that Cap went back and got to spend the life with Peggy Carter that he wanted so much. And I thought that was, cool. Do you think they would end it on a more like team thing? But they gave it to Cap.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
well, he is the first Avenger.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was Avengers Endgame. Went on to be one of the second highest grosses after Avatar pulled that bullshit of re-release to try to get, you know what I mean? But
my only complaint in this movie, and I really only have one, is the scene where, Peter's running trying to get the gauntlet to the van, and he lands, and then Captain Marvel comes down, hail of destruction, lands next to him and goes, basically, you're gonna give that to me, I'll take care of it. And he goes, well, who's gonna help you? And then all the women land. I'm like, she just blew up a ship. She flew through a ship, but she needs your help to get to a van. Come on.
That was fancy. That was to get that A-Force stuff in there. That's all that was.
Yes. But instead of just giving us the movie A-Force, no, let's just give you 44 seconds. Yeah. And again, I was super happy in the theater, and when I rewatch it, I'm like, "Oh, where's my A-Force movie?" Like,
I don't know if that's happening.
But the thing is, it easily could. Easily
could. All right, so Avengers Endgame ended. Everybody thought that was the end of the phase, but no, we're told that Spider-Man: Far From Home is the epilogue, which really caps Phase 3. And which Peter in mourning over Tony makes a good closing, to be honest. Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
When they called it an epilogue, I said, yeah, this is for sure an epilogue. So, no more Tony. Peter's on his own. He's very sad about this. He misses Tony a lot. But they kind of get him to think like you need to get away for a little bit. So he goes on the class trip, whatever, to Europe. And so Nick Fury and Maria Hill, while he's in Europe, there's this new hero called Mysterio, which is played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's just the new shit. He's the greatness, blah, blah, blah. And what's cool? Oh, Tony leaves a gift for Peter.
I'd wear those sunglasses.
The glasses.
Yeah, the glasses.
Even if they didn't have all that stuff, I'd still wear them. They looked hot.
Yeah. And we come to find out later in this movie, I'm jumping toward the end a little bit, but that's not really Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
They're Skrulls.
They're Skrulls that are disguised as Nick Fury in them. Peter gets tricked into thinking that Mysterio is a great hero. He comes to find out Mysterio is a fraud. Help me out here.
What about it? All those people working with
he says he's from an alternate. He's from the alternate universe. Multiverse.
Yeah, he says from
so we get introduced to that, but he's not.
Yeah, but it was all bullshit because
he's just mad at Tony because Tony's the one that scrapped his project way back when in
Civil War.
Civil War. That's right.
Yeah.
And, so he's been holding a grudge ever since.
And he tricked Spider-Man into giving him
the glasses.
Right. Which with the glasses you can control all of the Tony tech, all that other stuff. So he has to find a way to get it back. He has a funny thing where he calls himself Night Monkey because he doesn't have he doesn't want to be known as Spider-Man out in Europe.
Right, because he got in trouble for that in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember? He's like, no, I can't be Spider-Man in Europe. They're gonna put it together. So now I'm Night Monkey.
Yeah. Which I loved. I love Night Monkey. It was kind of like an homage to the black suit a little bit. A little bit. You know what I mean? It's like we can't do
Flash finally admits that he loves Spider-Man and da-da-da.
Yeah.
Well, no, Flash always loves Spider-Man.
But in the first two movies, he's kind of a dick to him. In this one, he finally
he's a dick to Peter, but he loves Spider-Man.
True. You're right. That's true.
Yeah. Like, no, that's always the thing of like, you love Spider-Man? Yeah, he's amazing, he's the best. And it's like, but you shit all over me. Yeah.
Right.
So Peter eventually figures out what's going on. The great MJ Peter romance is beginning to blossom in this movie.
And it's actually because of her that he figures out what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has the big fight scene with Mysterio. He wins. Mysterio tries to trick him, but he's not successful. Mysterio dies.
Yes. And
We're
he's
gonna
not
say-
successful because Spidey believes in himself and his spider senses.
Yeah, so he dies, quote unquote. But it's also revealed that the guy who was helping Mysterio do all these things,
Yes, who
He
used to work
lived-
for Obadiah Stone in the original Iron Man.
Stain.
Obadiah
Stane.
Stane, yes.
Yeah, and so he escapes. So it kind of leaves a little lingering, like this guy could
Does
be
he
back.
get away? I thought he was.
He
full
does
on.
get away.
Yeah,
he
he
does
gets
get
away.
I don't
That's
remember
why
that.
Mysterio. That's why the Mysterio plot works. Is
Yeah.
because that guy gets away. He uses that technology to orchestrate the whole Spider-Man killed me, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And I was
Right.
You know
No,
what
I
was
know
thinking?
that, but I thought after that, I thought the he actually does get shot by the clones.
No.
No,
No, okay.
No.
I have to rewatch it.
he
Then. It's been a
escapes.
while.
Yeah, he's out there.
Now here's the thing.
You don't
would
ghost
think-
Nick Fury.
No, you don't go Nick Fury. But you would think that would be a lingering threat in the Marvel universe. But that whole forget Peter Parker spell basically makes that whole little cabal of people who want revenge nullified because none of them remember he's Peter Parker. Now, what
Right.
I would be interested in is if we go back to one of those characters, particularly the guy who originally stole the tech. And he can remember that he stole the tech, but can't remember how to use the tech, and remembers that he knew who Spider-Man was, but can't figure it out now. And then that's like a plot for him to move with another nefarious scheme with another villain. I would enjoy that. But
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would enjoy that as well. And then this movie ends with Spider-Man swinging around with MJ and J. Jonah Jameson.
appears.
J. Jonah Jameson, the one who same J. Jonah Jameson from the original Toby movies.
Yep.
He's in this universe. He's just more online and stuff. When I heard his voice, Spider-Man, I was like,
It was great.
yes, it was phenomenal. But it's
No,
revealed.
in the originals it was Fishburne.
No. What are you talking about?
What
Fishburne was- Fishburne was Robbie Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fishburne was Robertson.
Oh, okay.
So, and what happens is Mysterio left behind a video, or this guy manipulated the video.
A
that
guy
sold
manipulated the
technology,
video.
and it reveals that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and it ends on the what the,
Right.
just like the first one, and then that is the end of phase 3. A phenomenal phase. It capped off a tremendous run, but it also leads us into phase 4,
The
Right.
most uncelebrated
Yes.
of the Marvel universe.
which I feel is caused the most division.
And the
of
most
anything.
no,
I mean,
it was
It's
a rough
Marvel's own
time.
fault though, because they conditioned us to assume everything builds to something, and because
Yes.
this may eventually, but doesn't have to. You know, everyone's like, "Well, where's it going?" Instead of just enjoying what they're giving you.
True. So this here doesn't have the full phase 4
No, it doesn't have Wakanda Forever.
because it doesn't have Wakanda Forever. It doesn't have Moon Knight. I'll get an updated one.
Right.
But we'll go through the first 6, which will be Black Widow, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Eternals, Shang-Chi, WandaVision, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And this also doesn't have Homecoming, which will probably be in the next section.
No,
Yes.
No Way Home. No Way Home.
No
Way
Way
Home, yeah.
Home. No Way Home. But that's before this, so I need to get a new thing. So we'll
That's
probably...
after Black Widow.
It's way after Black Widow.
But
Yeah,
before,
it's in between.
well before.
It's in
well
between
before-
WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
And WandaVision's before Black Widow too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's not before Black Widow.
No.
Black Widow's still
Black-
alive.
Black
Like-
Widow was
No.
the first
I'm
one.
saying as far as release date.
Oh, as far as release date,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was-
Look at the release
It
date.
was the first one. No, Black Widow was the first one released.
What? No.
It wasn't in theaters
Black
though.
Widow came out in like I want to say February, March, and WandaVision was like January on Disney Plus. Remember, because Black Widow was a Disney
Yeah.
Plus release because it never went to
Right.
theaters, and Johansson got pissed because she didn't get paid.
Yeah, I'll get an updated.
Reasonably so, because her contract was written for theater royalties, and obviously it never went to theater, so she got boned on her. What she was supposed to get paid.
All right. I'll get an updated list and we'll just split it in half and we'll do that. But all right. That was our MCU Phase 3. Let me get to the big Phase 3 overlook. What do you guys think? Comment below. Hit that subscribe button. And just to let you guys know that we're going to be going live tomorrow for the new keys of the week. We do it around 7:45, 8 o'clock. You guys available or no?
Oh,
I don't have a game tomorrow. I'll be around.
All right.
I'll
So
be-
I know. I think Anthony might show. He likes to pop up for the new keys of the week. And we'll go over that at like 8 p.m., 7:45, 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Again, please hit the subscribe button. Remember that we're on Instagram. Remember we're on TikTok. The subscribers are going up, guys. The subscribers are going up. We've been steadily moving like 2 a day type thing. It's getting up there. It's getting up there. So people
And
are
they told two
appreciating
friends,
it.
and then they told two
Yeah.
friends, and so on
And
and so forth.
And like I said before, like there used to be like 5 views, 4 views on videos. We're now in like the 20s range on
Nice.
videos.
And that 50 plus crowd is really keying into us.
Yeah, that's our age demographic.
Like,
Don't worry, the kids will jump in later when we're famous.
no,
They
but
only
the
like
thing-
they
the
only
thing
like
is-
you when you're famous.
You know, the
Right.
thing is, I'm really loving
I
it.
thought
am
they were
loving
cool
it.
before they were cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, from the Council of Comics, from Cliff, from Green Shirt Guy, aka Ronaldo. Thank you guys for watching us. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Share this with your friends. Be safe out there. We thank you. We love you. We'll see you later. Peace.